I just don't understand why Nintendo hasn't done this yet. What's up everybody, Johnny Bo here, back again with another video. This time I'm talking about something that completely baffles my mind, but before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. I've also been streaming here on YouTube as opposed to Twitch, so if you enjoy Nintendo streams, make sure you drop a sub as well. But let's get into this. I don't understand why Nintendo has not done this yet. We all know they make questionable decisions, but this one just kind of confuses me because it's leaving money on the table. It would be easy money for them, and that relates to Metroid. Now we know Metroid Dread comes out in less than a month, and a lot of people have not played the previous Metroid games. Metroid is not a huge system seller. It never really sells that much, and if you could give people access to it on the Nintendo Switch, I think they would buy it. Now we all know Metroid 1 is on the NES online system, so people can play that if they have the Nintendo Switch online service. We know the Super Metroid is also on the SNES online service, so if you have the Nintendo Switch online, you can also play Super Metroid. So you can play Metroid 1 and Metroid 3. Metroid Dread is Metroid 5, so we are still missing Metroid 2 and Metroid 4. Let's talk about Metroid 2 first. Metroid 2 came out on the Game Boy originally, and then it was remade as Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. Now, I don't expect them to port the 3DS game because I don't think they really want to do that. They don't want to use some resources to try to upscale it to meet the Switch's standards. However, the developers of Metroid Dread are also the developers of Metroid Samus Returns, so they're familiar with the Nintendo Switch infrastructure, and I think they could make a decent port. If they wanted to go that route, it would get people ready for the movement, the type of style Metroid Dread is going to be in, but I don't see that happening. However, there have been rumors of Game Boy games coming to the Nintendo Switch online service, which I hope they're true. We have not gotten confirmation of a September Direct yet. That has to be coming soon. I want to see that Final Smash character, and I want to see these Game Boy games. If they put Metroid 2 on the Nintendo Switch through the Game Boy service, it would get people hype for Metroid Dread. So that one's easy. That one's definitely the easiest one that they could just put onto a Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy service that everybody thinks is coming anyway. Now, Metroid 4, that one might be a little bit different because that is Metroid Fusion, and that came out on the GBA, the Game Boy Advance. The rumors are that it's Game Boy and Game Boy Color games coming to the Nintendo Switch Online service and not Game Boy Advance. So the only way, well, there's a few ways you can play Metroid Fusion, but they're not the easiest. The first one is if you have the original system and you have the original cart, which I don't know. I don't have that. It's hard to get now, and I don't think people are going to want to try to find a GBA plus Metroid Fusion because it's probably a little overpriced right now. Then the second way to do it is if you were a 3DS ambassador. So if you bought a Nintendo 3DS when it was priced at $250 when it originally came out, and then they backtracked and dropped the price, you got the Game Boy Advance games for being a Nintendo ambassador, and Metroid Fusion was one of them. So that is the second way of doing it. That's also difficult. I do have that because I kind of got lucky. I bought a used 3DS back in the day, and they didn't claim the 3DS game, so I was able to call Nintendo support, and I got them. So I was able to get Metroid Fusion on my 3DS. Now, the final way to do it, which you can still buy it today. I actually did this last week. I hooked up my Wii U. So if you're one of the 5 people, like me, that have the Wii U, you could get Metroid Fusion for, I think it's $8 on the Wii U eShop. That is probably the easiest way of doing it. I know not a lot of people bought the Wii U, but not a lot of people buy Metroid games anyway. It's definitely the easiest way, but it's still a little bit difficult. If Nintendo could either just release it on the Switch eShop for $8 to $10, or include Game Boy Advance games with the Game Boy Nintendo Switch Online service, that would be perfect. And they would get people hyped for Metroid. It would also get them ready for it because people want to play these older games, these older Metroid games. There is a high possibility, which it's probably pretty much guaranteed at this point, that Metroid Dread will be the best-selling Metroid game just because it is on the Nintendo Switch. And we all know games just sell like hotcakes on the Nintendo Switch. They are advertising the heck out of this game. It's going to sell well, so why not give people the chance to play the full series, Metroid 1, 2, 3, 4, before they play Metroid Dread, which is Metroid 5. They should have released this back at the E3 when they announced Metroid Dread. Like, now we have less than a month. If they do release it, I'm not sure if people are gonna want to spend some money to play these games before Metroid Dread comes out. They're already a little upset that Metroid Dread is $60. But it also, I would buy it. I would buy these Metroid games again. I want them all to be accessible on the Switch. It would be perfect. The Switch is like a handheld system, so you could play Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games. These 2D Metroid platformers would work perfectly. And heck, throw in the bonus Zero Mission, which is just a remake of Metroid 1, but it's arguably probably the best Metroid. I would say it's the best Metroid game that's been out. I know Super Metroid's amazing, phenomenal. They're all phenomenal, but Zero Mission is like, that's like 10 out of 10 perfection. So I just don't understand why Nintendo hasn't done this. They love reselling us games. I guess they just assume that people aren't going to buy Metroid games. But they have Metroid Dread coming out. They have Metroid Prime 4 coming out. I don't even want the Metroid Prime trilogy right now. Just give me Metroid 1 through 4 and I'd be happy. Metroid Prime trilogy could come out next year or whenever the heck Metroid Prime 4 is actually going to come out. Get people ready for that. If they could just put all of them, they could easily put all of the Metroid games onto the Nintendo Switch. They just haven't yet. I don't know how you feel about this. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know if you enjoy the Metroid series. If you would buy Metroid 1 through 4. Maybe just put it in a package. Like $60 for all 4 of them. I'd pay that. But let me know in the comments below. Are you Metroid fans? Are you ready for Metroid Dread? What have you been doing to get ready for Metroid Dread? I just bought Zero Mission and I bought Metroid Fusion on the Wii U. And I've been playing Zero Mission. It's a phenomenal game. I can't wait for Metroid Dread. Nintendo, put all the games on the Switch. Put all the games on the Switch, please. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Talk to y'all next time. Peace out.